Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Thanks for Sullivan Adams. Gave my latest review on Attack on Titan chapter 82. I gotta admit, I was spoiled ahead of time before I knew that, but there was gonna be a major death in this chapter, and I didn't know what was gonna happen. So, I was kind of spoiled. So, let's get started. Anyway, the situation is, Aaron, we know that everybody's trying to follow the plans, the Thunder Spears, when we open up, we get this opening chapter of Krista, aka Historia, and the Aaron, and then Armin, Mikasa, Jean, and the others. They're doing their own private meeting. This is way back on the farm. This is before they start to make their move. Them rethinking stuff about how they're gonna do this. So definitely, it's definitely quite a change of pace. Then we get back to the battlefield, the second page. Aaron's woke up. Remember, you can wake up Aaron in his. Remember, they've done this before. Like Aaron, you can shock him back into. If he's unconscious while he's in his Titan form, you can shock him back unconscious with pain. Pain is a good motivator. Like they did it before when they were trying to do. That's how it recalled back to the earlier Attack on Titan chapters and Attack on Titan season 1, where Eren lost control when they were trying to move that big boulder to plug up the hole that the Colossal Titan made in the wall. Back when Eren first discovered his Titan ability and because of Pixis. That was a nice callback to that. You know. Anyway, it continues. The siege is still going on. When most of their allies are now dead. And that Harmats, they made it this far, and if they failed, all their comrades sacrifices would have meant for nothing. This is literally the tipping point of the battle. Quite a vulnerable point. So no turning back. Anyway, continuing on and forward, we notice that things are not. They're coming up with a strategy. I mean, they know that the Colossal Titan, and he may be large, but his muscle mass is very very low dense. Like he loses strength very very quickly. He's the opposite of Reiner when he's transformed. His body is covered in pure armor and he's muscle. Oh, he has size, but that's it. That's his biggest weakness. So now the situation is very very high. Very astute. Hmm. Now it's up to this. The situation for them is like right now very very dire. They're trying to come up with a strategy. And they're gonna see that they could take down the Colossal Titan, but then there's also the armor, which is Reiner. Reiner, they have 3 Thunder Spears left. They're gonna have to come up with a strategy. The strategy is that this kind of trying to find a way to get him to open his mouth and place the Thunder Spear right in his jaw. So when it does, it explodes and blows his head off. I mean, last time they aimed for the neck by weakening and using the explosions. They weakened it at first, then used the explosions. It did some damage, but at the same time, it counterbalanced them. It didn't work completely because these guys have the ability to shift their body parts and their internal organs. When Levi stabbed Reiner, he also had the ability to transfer their consciousness if their human body is damaged beyond repair to the Titan body if it's intact, which is just another bizarre ability. Moving organs, transferring consciousness from body to body. It kind of reminds me of Parasite the Maxim, and that was one of the hottest animes of last year. 2000, late 2014, early 2015. That was one of the hottest horror anime. Anyway, let's get started. The situation, is very dire for them. Meanwhile, you have Armin. He's arguing, trying to motivate Eren, saying that he's not braver as most, trying to remind him of their dream. Like we all know that Armin's dream is to go to the outside and see the ocean, because he read all those the book. Because remember, knowledge and certain knowledge and information about the outside world is considered forbidden and considered taboo or was lost. Knowledge of the old world over the past 100 years. But they managed to find that book, and he wants to see the ocean so badly that he promised Eren that they will go see the ocean again. This was a long time ago, back when they were kids, and before they even thought about being soldiers. You know, this is like very problematic, and I really like this chapter because so many things are happening at once. Because you got Reiner being dealt with by Mikasa, Jean, on on, and the others, and Sasha, they're all dealing with this. This is very, very bad, But seeing the look in his eyes, seeing the look on Armin's face, Eren, I think he understands what he's gonna do, but there's a part of him that wants him to succeed, but there's also a part of him that doesn't want him to succeed because of what's gonna happen. Then you got the armor titan. They finally found a way to weaken it, and we get to see that nowhere something happens. They found a way to open the jaw, uh, open the jaw. I think, and we get to see the return of Hanji. We thought she was dead. We had no idea where she was. I didn't think she was dead. I don't. She was probably hiding somewhere and waiting to buy her time for the right moment. Because after what happened with the explosion, and the Colossal Titan and making its move, with Bertolt, you know, steam everywhere. And remember that the Colossal Titan has the ability to produce an enormous amount of steam that's so hot it could be very boiling and could burn you. And Titan skin is very hot and like very high temperature. Right, so but the Colossal steam power is flame temperature, I think, because it could burn the skin. You know. And when Hanji and they put that and they activate the Trinity, and Mikasa makes her move and puts that Trinity right in Reiner's mouth, and we see the explosion. Things are very difficult. Then you got the Colossal right now, and he's on the ground, not moving. Armin, he makes his move. It looks like Armin, he's gonna confront Bato head on without any strategy at all, just going face first for him, straight at him, like an arrow, being shot out of a bow, seeing the way he does it, and Bato, he's not letting up, using that steam ability I said again, he can use that bow as a weapon and for cover, so he can make great escape. And so knowing that he's doing that, he's very problematic, and he just takes it, and the way he's thinking to himself, oh, have I and those words he said to Eren, has I ever lied to you? And Armin, he's really a nice guy. He's always been honest. He's a good person, and he's not a genuine soldier like physical strength, but he's a strategist like like Arwen and or Hanji, but Hanji's a little loco, seeing the situation and coming to them now, how the way how they're acting, like him just taking the full force of that, saying to himself, of go to the outside and see the ocean for me. Those were like his parting words. And finally Henry told, saying to Armin, is this what it's gonna be? Is this a reality? So be it. I will grant you peace. And he literally just kills Armin. Armin, he wasn't like my favorite anime character, but he was one of the best, one of the original, one of the main characters, and now that he's dead, this is a major, major, game change, because they just lost, because Eren both lost a comrade and a friend to this thing, this is a epic, epic heck chapter, because it gets you emotional, but things get even more twisted, and the end when and Batoshi, knowing that Eren is on the ground, he thinks he's helpless, but then he notices that the Eren he's seeing is not the real Eren. It's really his Titan body in a hardened shell. It's actually empty. Eren they distracted Bertolt, so Eren can take advantage to sneak up behind him and literally use his blade and take him out of that body. He literally cut off his arms too. This was an epic chapter, both physically and emotionally, because we get to see the action and we see the death of one of the most major characters, a major game change, and the end of the chapter really hits home. You may not have been the strongest, but you were braver than most people I ever knew. Like basically saying you were the bravest of all soldiers, because he did that. He went in head first, gave his life, and it worked. And now Eren lost one of his best friends. Anyway, that's all I gotta say. Hope you enjoyed the experience. Overall, I loved it, and thank you. I sad that he died, but I loved it all. Loved it nonetheless. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for the comments. Thank you. Until next month's chapter. See you again. This is Solomon Game Review on Attack on Titan chapter 80 or 82. I'm out. Bye. Bye. Love the chapter.